Hello, everybody. I think I'm a minute early or so. Welcome on in. My name is Laura of Laura's Stamping Legacy Studio. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been one for 5 years now. And I like to do these Makers Monday lives about once a month. This is Makers Monday number 71. So you're in for a good one tonight. We're going to do a challenge project, and I'm going to walk you through how to create that. But first, while we're waiting for people to come in, happy Memorial Day. Can't forget to acknowledge that. A lot of ceremonies and remembrances have gone on this weekend. Perhaps you were at some of those. In the past, we used to do parades. We're not so much involved in that anymore. How did you spend your weekend? If we can get anyone out there coming in, or if someone's watching on replay, go ahead and leave a comment and tell me what you did over Memorial Day weekend. I have been involved in some baseball watching and attending, and obviously I've been doing some crafting, since that's something I often do. That's what comes with the territory when you're Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am truly hoping that this is going live out to you. I don't see anyone watching yet. Oh, good. There's somebody watching. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Oh, it's Terry. Hi, Terry. Can you hear me? I have my favorite setup with StreamYard so I can see my comments quite easy. I'm glad you're joining. That's what I was just saying during my intro. As we get more people in, perhaps they're busy with their activities still. Oh, good. Thank you, Terry. I will carry on because I know people watch this in replay, so I won't delay. But thank you, Terry, and whoever else comes in. People watching on replay. Like I said, let me know what you've been up to on this Memorial Day weekend. Many of you know I'm watching baseball quite often. In fact, while I was waiting to start this live, I had a little Go song in my head, and I thought, what am I humming? And it's actually one of the musical bits that they do on Bailey Live for the Reds. So I may be watching a little too much baseball, but it's been good lately. And it's a great Memorial Day activity to be involved in, or at least watching it. So thank you again. Today we are going to do the challenge card, like I said. Thank you for coming. I'm playing with all my gadgets as I go. And why don't you go ahead and tag somebody if there's somebody out there that you think would be able to come in, Terry. I do have a bit of news before we start. I can go ahead and tell you the first thing is there's a next in-person that will gather at my house as a Kit Together. And the next Kit Together will be on June 15th. Pretty sure it starts at noon and goes till 5. You'll find it as an event on my page. So no better time like the present. Oh, hi, Cindy. Welcome in. Make sure that you RSVP for the Kit Together on June 15th so that you'll have a space at my table. That's a new thing I've started the last couple, I think we've had 2 meetings so far. Just bring your kits that you have and work on them here and relax with all of us. And if you don't have a kit, don't worry. I have them that you can purchase on spot. So that's June 15th. And I think I'll go ahead and turn down because I want to point out the flyer for the starter kit, and then we'll get right into the challenge. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned, because this is ending soon, and I do have up here what the challenge item is. It's a little corner bookmark. I've slipped it onto the corner of my flyer for the starter kit special. But this is going away the end of May, and it's a wonderful special. In essence, you end up with $108 in free product for the $99 that you spend, and you do get free shipping on that. Part of that $108 in free product is this special that they have, an $82 value of all the new in color products. Hi, Sharon. Welcome in. Hi, Yana. So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure you were aware of before the end of the month comes. That's May 31st. And without further ado, if you missed the beginning, I asked everyone what you were up to on this last holiday weekend. Perhaps you traveled. Perhaps you stayed home like me. So this is the items and samples of the next challenge item that I've been making. It's a corner, like I said a minute ago, it's a corner bookmark. It slips right over the edge of your page. It's an opening there. So, and it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of measuring, and it doesn't take a whole lot of product. So I used 3 different stamp sets in creating this. I used Pets and More. It's an online exclusive right now. And I used this to make the cat. And I also used it to make a bird. So just really cute, really easy. And a simple stamp set. This is one of those that you stamp the lined image, flip over, ink the back side of that stamp, and then overstamp it with a color that you've stamped off. There's so many ways to color. Oh, good. Oh, you did travel. That's right, Yana. And you grilled. Oh, it was a great day for being outside, Cindy. I can keep checking your comments, so go right on ahead if you want to comment in or talk amongst yourself. Always good. But this is a sweet little kit, our stamp set, I'm sorry, and a nice one to work with. I also have always wanted to pick up this one, and I finally got a hold of it. It's called Bird's Eye View. And I picked the little bird there and the glasses. And I created a couple different samples of this. And they're all the same little bird, just different colors. And that's kind of the trickiest part of this challenge, is probably picking out the papers you're going to use. So that's why I'm taking a little bit of time to show these to you now. And when it came to coloring, I think I have to do a whole live or maybe a whole event at my house where I talk about coloring, because there's many different ways to color items, either with Stampin' Blends, if you have them, or by stamping them, like I did for some of these. And I did a couple different methods coloring on these because I didn't have stamp pads yet of this color. So I had to use my Stampin' Write markers and scribble out some ink on a stamp block. And then I used my Stamp and Blend blender pens to take that ink and apply it to the image. So that's one different way to color that some of you may not be aware of. I did also try with the little pink one here. This one, and this is not watercolor paper. This is regular paper. I did have StazOn ink, which is what you use when you're using water. And I used our water painters. And I did the same as I did. I had this is, what color is that? That's the Petunia Pop. So I scribbled out the ink onto a block, an ink block or a stamp block. And then I used my water painter to pick up a little of that ink and just really carefully put some of it down here. I didn't want it to get too wet, but I found it was a really easy way to blend in colors. So there's a lot of way to colors, even if you don't have all the Stampin' Blend markers in every color, because I certainly don't. So enough about that. Let's move on to the dimensions. Of the paper that you're going to need to create this project. Oh, I did forget to show you this. This is the final example I did. I've been working on these all today. From the Gone Fishing, I went ahead and used some of the Country Woods DSP to create the little holder, and then used the elements and stamps in here in the dies to cut out some of the really neat fishing items. And then I went one step further with this, because since it's a bookmark, you really can't embellish. You can't have little bumps or ribbons or anything on here. It's got to be flat, no dimensionals. And there was room on this one. If you look at this little one here and look closely, you'll see that there's a thank you there. Hold on one second. Here we go. So you might have a really small stamp, and you might be able to put a little sentiment on there. With this one, I made sure that my DSP that I used was light enough that I could stamp on the back. So I'd stamped one Happy Father's Day and one Happy Retirement. So that's an idea you might want to consider as you decide exactly what direction you're going to take this little corner bookmark. So enough about all this. Let's talk about the dimensions, which you'll see right up there. Let's get all these little extra guys away. So there's really 3 pieces that you're going to need to create this, and that's all. You're going to need 1 piece of DSP. I guess you could use cardstock, but it would be thick. And I chose the new In Color Petunia Pop. So this is 5 by 3. And then you need 1 coordinating piece of cardstock or DSP. And I think I put on there's 2 ways to do this. You can make it so that your squares are 1 3/4 square and 2 square, or depending on what you want your image to be, maybe you want it to be bigger. Then you could actually go up to a 2-inch square with a 2 1/4 inch square layered underneath. A little bit of flexibility there. You can decide what works for you. So those are the 3 things 3 pieces. You're going to need an accent piece and some layers, and this is what we make the actual bookmark out of. We have to turn it into this. So you'll want to pay attention here. I did make myself a template, and I worked on this like a week or 2 ago and then came back to it today. And I found the template useful for myself. So you might want to consider making a template. Oh, great point, Cindy. You could use Wink of Stella. It might give you like a glittery glasses effect on here. I'll have to try that on my next one I do. But let's go ahead and get things moving. First thing you need to do is score. So take your DSP. Before you do that too, you have to consider what pattern you want where to make your colors. And I found that challenging as I was making these to begin with. With the cat, I liked the dark outside and the light was inside with the light, what's that, crushed curry, I think. But then when I lined it with the black square, it kind of got lost. So this one turned out a little better. So picking your, like I said, picking your paper, because you need a front and back to that. So this one, it was actually a black and white that I colored because I didn't have a DSP that worked. But I liked this one better because there was more contrast from this piece here. As I kept going, let's see with this one. And you can see this one was easier because I used a different color here that was more neutral. So just think about that as you're picking your colors. So when I was making this one, I decided that I wanted a little lighter pattern here, darker here, but then the solid cardstock really helped me out. So once you've decided what you want to be your front and your inside, cut that accordingly. So I've marked here that this is your outside. So I'm going to score that the dark is inside. So I like to put that down. When you score, it puts a little mark and you're supposed to fold that way. So that's the first thing. 2.5 is your first score mark. I've probably just made 10 of these in a row. So I hopefully have the measurements down. So 2.5 scored. This is landscape. Landscape is horizontal. Portrait is vertical. So you want to do 2.5 this way as well. Just line it up as best you can. All right. That's lined up quite well. So there my score marks are done. We're done with that for now. Go ahead and fold one of those. It's your bone folder. And give it a good score line. Open it back up. Find your other middle score line. And get that going. And then we said we want this to be the outside. So whatever side you decide you want to be the outside, leave that outside for now. The first thing we're going to do after that is make sure your flaps are open. I know it's hard to see. Hi, Sylvia. So you want to address those tabs they're going to become tabs at the bottom. You see that? We're going to take and miter these little corners here up to the score line. And I probably have to take my glasses off for this, so just do just a little bit of a miter cut, which is a little angle up to that. Sorry if my face is getting in there, but it's the only way to really see when it's a fine line and it's the same color. So now you can see, these little things fly everywhere, didn't they? Into the trash can they go. Anybody else have to take your glasses off to see up close, or is it just me? So now there's your tabs. And this is the outside. That's your inside. And I have my little thing to help us think about that. So you'll have tabs to the right. You want to, next step, you want to make sure your tabs are pointing to the right. You want to remove that lower tab just past the score line so that it's completely off, which means, I'm not sure you can see this, but there's a bead line in there. And if it helps you to cut it on this side, you can do that. But for sake that you realize which one to cut, I'm going to stay on this side and lose the glasses one more time. I think I can right there. Depending on your paper, this might be easier than it is for me. The trick is just to make sure that you get that whole tab off. So fix that a little bit. And you won't need that. And I can tell that it's gone because I don't feel that score line bead. If you ever, to see what I'm talking about, go ahead and when you score something, you can feel there's a bump on the side that was down that you scored. And there's an indent on the top. So we're cutting past that bump. So now you've got the piece you need to make the bookmark part. Kind of looks like an index card, doesn't it? So then take it, remember this is the top, this was the bottom. We cut off the bottom tab. You'll take the top one and corner fold it over. So you want to do that exactly. Glasses one more time. Sorry, my head's going to be in the shop. But you get that down. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'll come up and show you. I'm folding that. Now that was our top. There's our tab. I'm folding this down so that the point goes to the point over here, just inside your score lines. Go ahead and get your glasses back on if you're like me. Oh, I'll come be your seeing eye dog, Sharon. I know what it's like. Sometimes I have to have my husband help me find my glasses if I've taken them off and don't have them nearby. So there, that's folded that. And that's the mechanism. So fold it up, and then you're going to fold this over, and you're going to glue that. Have I shown you everything? Are you missing anything? Oh, hold on. Let me get rid of those dimensions for you. so that we can get rid of that. How's that? Sorry about that, girls. So I'll show you again. My comments back on so I can keep track of people. Alrighty. Better? Okay. So this was the template that I was talking about with the tabs to the side, and we removed the bottom one. So if you can see that, that was removed, and we had both tabs to this side. And I've gotten this one to the point where that tab was cut off. This was the top. And then I took and I made sure that this folded down. So that tab is going to come over once this folds. It may sound a little complicated, but when you play with it, it's easier than you think, and you're not working with a lot of paper. So if you mess up on one, you could just get another little piece of paper and start again. So fold, fold. Well, let's do this part. Fold, fold up. I keep losing these earbud things. And then fold over, and then you'll get some glue or some fast fuse, which is the kind of adhesive I think you have, Yana. I'm not sure our regular Tombow would hold it. Could use a little piece of tear and tape if you wanted. I just use Tombow. Just be careful not to get too much glue. This is a newer bottle, so it has a lot in it. Go ahead and fold that one over. And there's your corner bookmark. I don't have something to put it on here. I'll show you right here. So that's the mechanism. And then all you have to do to put it together is to do your accent piece. This could be a sentiment if you wanted to. I've done images and die cuts. That's the fun of this. You see the thing we're making, but you get to have your creative license with what goes on it. So we'll put this little pink guy. In this set, there's also a stamp set that looks kind of like an owl. And I was watching someone today. Where's the owl? Oh, this one right here. Someone thought this looked like Hedwig from Harry Potter. And then they did the glasses, and they put a little lightning bolt scar in the middle of the head. Cutest little card. Then your next thing to make sure you do is when you adhere this to the front, that you have the part that slips over in the top right. So you want to put this on top of that. And the easiest way to line it up is your point will go there and here, evenly spaced. You'll put your ink on the little bookmark base. You don't need a whole lot. Just put some out there and smear it around. Don't go to the edge because it doesn't go to the edge. So just put that on like that. I plan to make a bunch of these for a demonstrator swap meeting I'm going to. Oh, is it June 8th? I do have to get started on them then. But there we go. So you'll probably have to replay this. But hopefully you caught the dimensions. And if not, you can come back and look at them again. This challenge will run from, let's see, it's starting today. So it's going to run to, it's going to run to the 9th. So it's going to run to June 9th. And on the 10th, I'll pull a prize winner from those that create a bookmark and put a picture of it in our group. So I think we've got it. All right. Hold on, ladies. Let me see if there's anything else I'm supposed to. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's resizing. That's not good. Okay. I think we've done everything there. Let me go ahead and bring myself over. What'd you think? Do you think that's something you all can take a stab at? Well, I hope you have fun with it. That's for sure. I want to thank you because I know it's been a long, busy weekend. Some of you are probably exhausted getting ready for the work week. So just thank you for spending time with me, and good luck with your challenge cards. I can't wait to see what you create. And always stay well and have fun stamping. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.